Previously on Tales of Symphonia.
You gotta tell him what you saw, Billy.
But I'm so scared, McGarnagle.
You gotta do this one for me, Billy. McGarnagle.
Okay.
McGarnagle.
For you, McGarnagle.
For you, McGarnagle.
Well, McGarnagle, Billy is dead.
He's dead!
Hey, I'm
Hey,
trying
I'm
to
eating
eat
a sandwich here. Hey, I'm eating a sandwich here.
I'm trying to eat lunch here.
Also,
Welcome back to Tales of Symphonia.
Also,
I have been waiting like a month and a half to use that joke.
it fits.
And that wasn't even Luigi. I came up with that myself for once.
You should do it more.
I don't usually come up with stuff like that on the fly. That's usually your thing.
No.
But yeah, in the
And
last video,
I'll tell you what.
we kinda
I'll tell you what
killed
happened.
Zelos,
I'll tell you.
so-
I'll tell you what happened. Zelos died and then came back to life because it didn't happen. He's like, just brush it off. Oh, well, that happened.
God damn it, McGarnagle.
You got He's like, yeah, but you got stabbed a bunch of times. Didn't happen.
No, that was Ash. We've been over this.
It didn't happen. I'm good. I like the blooper version of that. He just gets his ass kicked by Regal.
That's in the OVA.
Yeah, he gets his ass kicked by Regal. Like, Regal headbutts him so hard that he gets knocked unconscious. Like he gets
I like how in the actual OVA episode. Halfway through, everyone just realizes what's going on and just rolls with it, just to mess with Mythos.
Yeah, I do want to actually get on the topic about the OVA version, because the OVA version is completely different than what you see here. It is like 100% different how they approach it. They try to incorporate both versions of the story, but like they do a fake betrayal for Zelos, but they make it so that it's because Zelos wants to 1v1 Mythos, and if you've seen any part of this game, you'll realize, yeah, that's probably not the best idea.
Well, to be fair, regardless of whether you fight him or not, that scene plays out the same way. It's just one has
Pranama
takes one of them. One part just has Pranima run off with Colette and leaves Zelos behind, and the other one has both of them leave with Colette. And if Zelos leaves, then you know he's just fucking with you.
Let's be honest here. The only reason he left was so he could look at Pranama's ass the entire time. Let's be honest here. You know it.
Anyway,
I know it.
Anyway, in terms of dungeons,
this stage is long. This dungeon's
not
long as
bad,
hell.
but it is probably my least favorite dungeon in the entire game.
This dungeon's long as hell.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I don't like it. It's not difficult. It's just
Tedious.
It's basically an hour-long cutscene that you play 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, out of all the dungeons, this is the one I remember the most, but for the wrong reasons.
And I don't want to say it's a straight line, but it does kind of feel like it's a straight line, which is also another reason why I don't really care for it.
Yeah.
Like right here, like this part is the only puzzle element of the entire dungeon, and it's over in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure even playing through Abyss, I can say that, honestly, I actually do think Abyss did it better.
I don't know, because if you're comparing this to the...
Not story-wise. I'm talking about gameplay.
If you're comparing this dungeon to... No, that's what I'm saying. If you're comparing this dungeon to the Passage Ring dungeons, I'd still rather play this than the Passage Rings. Because the Passage Rings are literally literally the same exact dungeon 4 times in a row. And I voiced my opinion on that multiple times in our commentary on that.
Maybe I'm thinking.
Honestly,
maybe I'm thinking of something.
Suck.
Maybe I'm thinking of Vesperia.
Vesperia has like one dungeon, I think, that you go through twice. I think that's the only reason why this dungeon feels so repetitive, is because we already did it once.
Sort of.
It's technically not the same dungeon, but it may as well be the same dungeon.
It's the same. Everything looks the goddamn same in this goddamn planet.
I mean, again, it's the same dungeon, except now the world tree is growing through everything, and killing everything.
So basically the same, just greener.
Yeah. We're basically going through Tree of Might right
Tree of
now.
Might.
Only less irritating.
All right, so who's Turles in this scenario? Where's the evil Lloyd?
Zelos?
He's not red.
I mean, he does steal your girlfriend and run off if you do it the normal playthrough.
He's not red.
He's got red hair.
That doesn't count.
That's the closest possible thing you can get.
He's got manly pink.
It's not like Mythos looks any better. It's
really
not like
doesn't.
Mythos looks like it.
He really
like,
doesn't.
If anything, you want to say Mythos is the Turles to Colette. Except he has short hair.
It's like, I look better than you do. More boxing plants, yeah.
Yggdrasil would be the Turles to Colette, because he has long hair when he's Yggdrasil.
More boxing plants.
That's the one thing I do question about this. Whenever Mythos becomes Yggdrasil, he just magically has longer hair again. Like,
it's supposed
does he have to cut that off anytime he turns back into Mythos?
I think it's supposed to insinuate that he can age himself whenever, and that's supposed to be an older version of himself.
Yeah. Also, this is the only annoying thing about this dungeon is these stupid plant enemies that can poison you. Other than that, all the monsters in this dungeon are piss easy.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the boxing plants. Like this, that doesn't fit anything. Like I expect that kind of shit in Tekken.
Well, that's comparing Namco to Namco.
I know. like Tekken has bears that beat the shit out of you. So
now I'm expecting Jin to come out of nowhere and beat the shit out of us.
You'd be fucked.
I don't know. I think Regal could take Jin. At least he knows how to kick things in the face. I'm not saying he'd do a good job of it. He at least would know how to fight him, though.
All right, I'll give you that.
Oh, this is the other gimmick, too. You have to use the Sorcerer's Ring to burn through all these branches.
I would laugh.
Which can be a little more finicky than you'd think, because the hit detection on this can be kind of wonky.
I would laugh so hard if we inserted an Easter egg where you just see Crest be like, "Oh shit, wrong timeline."
I mean, you do fight Crest and Arche in Tales of Eternia, so
and in Zelia.
Well, that's because Zelia puts everybody back in that. Because you also fight Jade and for some reason frickin' Sophie.
No, that's
why Sophie's
no,
there.
that's Zestiria.
Oh no, you're right. That's Zestiria. My mistake. Wrong game.
I will say this though, the funniest one I believe is Zelia 2. That's the funniest one for me. Because when you've
all right,
when you actually beat the cameo team, they're like, "Hey, we noticed you're having trouble with this guy. You want us to take care of it?" If you say yes, the Team Fantasia will kick the shit out of the final boss of Zelia 2 for you. And that's your alternate ending.
I wanted to do that, but I couldn't find the cameo fight. I looked everywhere.
I think it's in the Coliseum.
Okay, that's probably why I didn't see it.
It's funny as hell because the Crest is like the cameo team will just beat the final boss for you, and that's your ending.
It just shows how much more badass they are than you.
It's like I can go through dimensions. It's like, yeah, I've seen that before. Like Crest is pretty much the Captain America of this franchise at this point.
Anyway, thankfully I do jump cut because I don't fully remember this dungeon, even though it is kind of a straight line. It's like everything kind of leads into itself, so...
Man,
That's my biggest problem with this dungeon. We made that joke about everything looks the same, but really, every room in the first part of this dungeon looks the fucking same.
I think when I recorded this part, I was just on autopilot the entire time.
I basically was too, because it's just a giant square. So I'm just running around everywhere, making sure I didn't miss anything.
Hey, all these squares make a circle. He was right.
God damn it. Except it's not a circle.
You're going in a circle. So it's a circle.
The only reason I am is because you do find weapons and armor for everybody in here.
Yeah.
don't
not
need
like
them,
you're
but
gonna
it's
be
good to have
using.
them.
Not like you're gonna be using it much.
I don't know. I use. Yeah. Every
You
time I
had
see a
to think
cloak, I
about-
always think
I
it's supposed
I
to
find it funny that you had to think about it.
No, I saw the cloak, and I'm like, every time I see a cloak armor, I always think it's for Genis for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
I think it's because Regal and Genis have very similar armor, so it always gets me confused who equips what.
Yeah, I get you. Yes, thank you.
So anyway, that's the whole point of getting up here is you needed to burn down the branches to drop that boulder, and now we can actually get to the other side of that bridge.
It's okay. Persea can lift the boulder.
Also, that crack in the wall, I always think that's a door that goes somewhere, and it isn't, and it annoys me that it's not.
I'm sorry, dude. This is not Castlevania. There is no take.
No,
there is
no,
no hit.
it's
There
not.
is no. There is no. There is no chicken. There is no wall chicken. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not saying that's wall chicken. I'm saying it looks like a legitimate door that I could go through.
It's not. There is no wall chicken. I'm sorry.
I know.
Be amazing though.
Well, there's the star mail. It doesn't look nearly as ridiculous as it does in Fantasia, where it's a literal star. Oh no, that's the star shield.
I would laugh so hard if the Star Mail in the next game just makes you look like Starman from the Mega Man series.
That would be awesome. The armor is just a giant star, and it looks badass.
It looks ridiculous.
I mean, the star shield already kind of looks ridiculous too.
Well, in that case,
It's literally just a giant plastic star.
yeah, the star that kills people.
There we go.
I like to. You want to know something funny? The funniest thing was one of the. I remember Red vs. Blue actually made an RPG joke, and it was fun. It was great.
Oh God.
When after they did this long journey, to close out one of the arcs, they're like, man, Tucker doesn't feel well at all. Yeah, he's been like that since the swamp. You guys went through a swamp? Yeah, it was dark and swampy. I was not scared at all. One of the things they said was that, and it turns out the sword we had was really a big key. It's like, yeah, a key can still stab people. Or it's a key all the time, and when you stick it in people, it unlocks their death.
Was that them referencing Kingdom Hearts?
No. Like, God, no, it's like he just stares for a while, and it's like, God damn, man, I would just love to live in your role for about 5 minutes.
I think this is me trying to remember, like, is there something on the other side of that or not? And then, like, may as well just go. Then I realized, wait,
Access denied.
I actually can't go further down because I dropped the boulder on the bridge now, so now I have to go the right way.
But thou must.
Well, I made it a that, but thou must, because I dropped the boulder on that thing. Okay, so clearly nothing bad is gonna happen. Oh shit!
You just look over and everything's on fire. Archie did it.
Archie's not even born. Well, actually, no. I'm not sure if Archie would be born yet.
Let's just handle it.
Probably not. I mean, it is implied that she's like over 1,000 years
Christ,
old.
we're in like the third act of this game, and it's still using that goddamn still using that 6-second loop. Christ.
Same danger music. Get used to it.
I hate it.
It's over now, so don't worry about
It's gonna come back. I already know, but it's like I hate it so much.
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm not gonna shut up. Well, that thing's dead.
Damn.
It's like we had
Damn,
we had to make sure it was dead. We had to make absolutely sure.
Make a break for that passage. All right.
You said it was over.
It'll be over in 2 seconds. Boom.
Fuck this pillar. I got it.
Okay, so of all the people that get separated from you, I think this one is the dumbest reason.
Let's be honest. Real just did this because he wanted to show off.
You were the only one.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because there's no reason for him to have done that until after he left the room.
I'm gonna kick the shit out of all of you and win. It's gonna be amazing.
I could have taken all of these angels by myself. There's no reason for you to quote-unquote sacrifice yourself to these 5 weak-ass sons of bitches that we just kicked the crap out of 2 seconds ago.
Regal's pretty much doing a Saiyan Pride gimmick at this point. It's actually kind of funny in
Seriously,
hindsight.
there's no reason for this.
It's funnier in hindsight because when you realize Regal can easily take down these people without much effort.
Yeah, and he can also break out of his own blockade that he made by shooting a beam through it.
I don't get the shit out of it.
Everything about this scene for Regal makes no sense. He's talking like, oh man, I was going to do this whole heroic sacrifice thing. You don't need to. You can beat the shit out of all of these guys.
Goomba stomp you.
There's not even that many of them.
It's like, I'm gonna Goomba stomp you. I'm gonna stomp you. I'm gonna stomp you. I'm gonna stomp you.
There's only 11 of them, and we killed like 5 of them by ourselves.
It'd be funny if you just go back there and Regal's just sitting there. Well, now what?
It's also nice of Mythos to just leave a vending machine so I can restock on all my items.
I would laugh so hard if you just go back to that room. You just see Regal sitting on a bunch of angel bodies. He's just like, now what?
I mean, if it wasn't obvious enough already, that's the whole gimmick of this dungeon is we're gonna slowly lose more characters.
I just wish you could go back there. You just see Regal standing on a pile of angelic corpses. He's just like, probably should have thought this through.
I probably could. In hindsight, I probably should have just told you to wait 5 minutes.
5 minutes, that's being generous. Hey, I just wanted a quarter. I remember somebody made a joke about that. like Kratos' joke about saying give him no quarter. Like give him no quarter, and the villain and the enemy is like, man, I just want a quarter for the bus. It's like, maybe we should give him a quarter, and they say, I said no quarter.
Man, sometimes running down spiral stairs in video games is really annoying because you keep getting clipped on the wall because the game doesn't just let you run down the thing.
Other games do it better. Arkham does it better. I take that back. Games in this generation do it better. In the generation of this game do it better. I'm pretty sure other Namco games do it better in the generation this game was released in.
To be fair, this game was released in 2003.
I said in the same generation.
I'm trying to remember if Baten Kaitos had a dungeon where you got separated from your party. I think it did.
I can't remember.
I can't either. I did an LP of that game like a year and a half ago. I can't remember.
And then, I just said. So
anyway, we got a mannequin in another part of this tree because apparently it didn't fully die all the way yet. Why can't this... Honestly, Namco, why wasn't this Sheena's Mystic Art to begin with?
That's a very good question.
Just have her Mystic Art be a freaking mini mannequin and it would have been amazing.
If you're just looking on, it's like, I could burn this down myself, right?
Yeah, it's like...
Just fucking tree. Just
fucking
tree.
Like,
What are you doing?
it's like Genus is like, I can just fireball this, right?
I can make it explode. It'd be awesome.
It is kind of a shame that this entire scene wasn't in the OVA. They completely skip over this entire dungeon.
Maybe there's a reason for it, which I'll talk about in a second.
Because
there's probably a reason. This is probably the reason for it. It's just basically a glorified Kamehameha. That's probably why they didn't do it.
Nah, not even just this. I mean the entire dungeon itself.
Oh, well, I meant this scene in particular. I would love to see.
No,
I would love to see that.
Why isn't that her Mystic Art? Why can't her Mystic Art just be? I can just make a mannequin and.
That's a very good question.
And blow the shit out of everything.
That's a very good question. It's like fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, the reasoning for that is like it uses up all of our mana to use it.
So what?
So what?
So what? So what? It's a game. It's a gameplay.
Anyway, so fuck it.
So what? Most Mystic Arts do that anyway. I'm just saying. Like I said, most Mystic Arts do that anyway. So why? But so fuck it.
The other thing, like, okay, so Regal's, I'll be like, Regal's way of separating from you is fucking stupid. At least with Gina, this makes a little more sense. Like, oh yeah, I'm kind of tired from nuking an entire tree with all my mana, so I don't really have the strength to pull myself out of this hole.
I like the joke I made with my run for this one. I love the joke I made for this one.
Also, the game calling back to her falling into holes one time.
The one time.
Well, now it's happened twice, so now it's officially a running gag.
No, it's not. That's not a get. This isn't part of that.
I know. I'm just saying, for this game in particular, it is officially a running gag because
No,
they
it's not.
reference it.
It's not.
Okay.
I know it's
Shut up.
Anyway, your joke for this was what again?
You know,
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember. More Emperor's
the
New
Emperor's
Groove.
New Groove joke was like, for the last time, we did not order a giant trampoline. You know, pal.
You know, pal, you could have told me that before I finished setting it
I
up.
set it up, yeah. I think what sold it was who I had the guys say that last part.
I don't remember who you had say that.
It was Kratos and Zelos.
God damn it.
That's what sold it the most. That's what sold it the most because the game doesn't outright tell you at first, but it's implied that Kratos and Zelos are going behind the scenes, making sure everybody's okay.
Yeah. Which is why killing Zelos is considered non-canon.
Yeah, because it's implying Kratos does all this shit by himself, and that's like, no.
But it's confirming that Kratos has been working behind his back the entire time.
It's like,
Which
you were the
is very, very obvious from the beginning anyway, so...
I like to imagine at the end of this, it's like, you were the biggest fuck-up.
Which is why Dawn still has Zelos be alive, because he doesn't canonly die.
Well, everybody has the idiot ball in that game, but the less I talk about that, the better.
True. This is also the other part of this dungeon that I hate. Like, again, we just went through another room that looked exactly the frickin' same as this. And then I realized, oh, because of that, I missed a chest somewhere because I didn't bother to check where it was.
Yeah, there's always a chest and it's in a new area that looks exactly like that. It's not necessary.
I did get it, and I thought I missed it. But...
It's not necessary, so don't worry about it too much. Oh yeah, the joke I made for this one. This is great.
This is the one where I'm actually torn by which one of these separation gags is more ridiculous. Like, at least with it's a very close tie between Regal and Rain, because Regal's reason is just literally I can just leave whenever I want.
I'm not necessary for plot.
And Rain's is like I'm purposely sabotaging myself because I'm an idiot. Also, bullshit, she did not grab onto the ledge fast enough to get up there. She fell and died right there. I'm sorry.
You see the stunt double.
God damn it.
No, what you saw was Rain's stunt double dying. That's what happened. Oh, shit. I like the gag I had for this one, too.
No, now hurry up and defeat it.
What was it?
At the end of this, I just had Rain playing Tetris the entire time. It was great. I still think that was one of my favorite jokes. Because I agree, this one was kind of dumb, but I just made it. I'm like, I gotta make it better somehow.
I think the other reason why I don't like this is that during this whole sacrifice thing for Rain, Gina says goddamn nothing this entire cutscene.
Yeah, that's why I don't
I mean, I
particularly
guess
care
that's
for
supposed
it.
to show you that, like, yeah, they're not actually all dying, but still, you'd think her brother would go, Rain, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's probably why they took it out in the OVA. That's probably one of the many reasons why they took
it out
that.
in the OVA because
like I
it's
said,
wasting 20 minutes to watch everybody get separated.
like I said, it's probably one of the reasons why they took it out in the OVA, because like I don't think we can justify half of these. So fuck it, we'll just cut it out.
And it's the same monsters over and over again.
Yeah.
Boxing plant thing.
I mean, at least it's funny. At least there's some humor in it.
True.
I'm gonna beat you up with watermelon, son.
God dang it.
Hope you like melons. Hope you like melons, motherfucker.
I'm actually dying for once because I hadn't had a chance to heal.
Bring it on, motherfucker.
Jesus, move out of the way. You freaking idiot.
Bring it on, motherfucker.
You deserve that.
Bring it on, motherfucker. I'm the Mike Tyson of this game. I'm the Mike Tyson of this party.
Jesus, this is not the time to act like a big shot.
I'm the Mike Tyson of this group. Come on, let's go.
This room will soon collapse. Hurry up and go.
I'm pretty sure you've jumped across larger gaps. Just saying.
Lloyd has.
Bullshit, they all have.
Rain, not so much.
They all have. Shut up.
No, when have you seen Rain jump anything?
Like half parts ago.
Become my home.
Shut up. Semantics.
Remember the bridge?
No
Yeah.
regrets.
Saving the
Bullshit.
world won't mean anything if
She
it
did
means
not jump over that bridge. She wasn't even in our party at that point yet.
Wait a minute.
But if your ideals die, then my hope
In fact, they were already on the other side of that bridge when we jumped it.
I know. All the times you normally jumping, you can have Rain as a active party leader jumping them too. Like I said, you've jumped wider gaps.
What if it's implied that Lloyd's just carrying her as he jumps over shit?
There's literally nothing that says that.
It's all implied. Kind of like how it's implied that Colette could just fly over everything because she has wings.
There's literally
which
nothing that
implies
says
one
that.
throwaway
I'm
gag
just
of her
saying.
flying up to that key card is fucking stupid.
I just said that there's literally nothing that implies that. Also, just want to say she's over in that computer playing Tetris. She just wanted an excuse to be alone so she can get the high score.
Rainy, do you know that the max is out at 9 million, right? It's like, shut up, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, but this is at 9,000,001. No. She's like, this is at 8. Is that 8
This is
million?
at 8,000,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one.
999, damn it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say actually. Just gonna make that game tilt, whether they like it or not. Oh, sorry, Genus. Looks like you're not gonna be able to do it. You just wasted MP for nothing.
Sorry, we're not using Thunderblade. We don't need it.
You just wasted MP for nothing. Good job, Genus.
He got it back immediately after the battle.
Star Shield, right behind a wall where you can't see it.
This is why I was making. That's why I was saying in the last room, like, did I miss something? Because god damn it. Even if you do, it doesn't matter really, because you're gonna get better equipment later on anyway.
It really doesn't. Let's see. I forget who's next.
Next is the most contrived one.
What was this one? Oh, okay. I remember now. This makes me
This
think.
one's the most contrived. They have to literally make an excuse for Persea to leave you.
I remember now.
I'll give it a try.
I'm the only.
It's too dangerous.
Say, I'm the only one short enough to enter. Looks at Genus.
I'll be all right.
I was gonna say, looks at Gina. You two are literally the same fucking height.
Just turn them into the ice climbers.
But be careful.
I will.
No, but then we lose two characters at the same time. And we can't have that.
I would laugh so hard if they just treat them like the ice climbers. like they have Genus and Persea be like the ice climbers. Have control two characters at the exact same time.
Bubbles, you can fly. Just fly through. Oh wait, wrong character.
Almost got it.
Sorry, Tara. I know you've done a lot of characters.
Out of all the performances, this is the one that's fine. Her hands clip through the axe, by the way.
No, her Persea performance is basically just her normal speaking voice, like she does for Raven and Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Just she doesn't emphasize the accent as much as when she's Raven.
By the way, what happens to her axe after this? Because once everybody regroups, it just kind of acts like this doesn't happen.
You have something you must
She's
do.
like Bui from.
Please do not forget.
She has the same power as Bui from Yu Yu Hakusho. She can just materialize another axe out of thin air whenever she needs it.
Motherfucker!
No, that would suck though. That would suck if like the one axe you have her equipped with is suddenly just gone now because of after this scene.
Yeah, Batman slide.
You mustn't give
I missed that slide so much.
Lloyd, I'm actually super strong. I can probably break through these vines by myself even without my axe.
I can break these
like I
cuffs.
can't get out.
I can break these cuffs. You can't break those cuffs.
I'll rescue Colette no matter what.
Persea, you can't break them. You can't break those cuffs. Why? Because they're not cuffs.
Everyone can live
Oh,
It's like you
point.
can't break those cuffs.
because they're not cuffs. Oh, well that means I can break it then.
It's made of wood.
So now
Give
we're
me
down
my
to-
quarter.
Also to be. Also, the game is nice enough to give you easy encounters as you lose more characters.
Yes.
Not that you need it, because pretty sure at this point Lloyd can solo everything anyway.
Yeah, and all your attacks do double the damage they would normally.
That too.
Yeah, when you're by yourself, you actually do double the damage you normally would.
That or the enemies are programmed to be have lower stats.
Yes.
One of those two.
Bosses have this happen too.
Well, it would be kind of unfair if
Yeah.
you fought a level 60 character with only one person on your team.
Well, you still do that. They just have their stats incredibly lowered.
Yeah. And we'll find that out in a later part, so...
Look at you see this? You'll never see this again. Shift the eyes.
Everyone is dead.
Just see a sad Kirby. It just cuts to a sad Kirby.
God damn you, Galeem, you bastard. That's why Lloyd never made it into Smash Brothers.
That was.
He got erased before he even had a chance.
Well, don't worry. If Violet can make it into Smash. Oh, did I
Let's
say
not
that out
start
loud?
that flame war.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. If Dante can make it into Smash. Oh, wait. Did I say that out loud?
What the hell is this?